As China expands deep-sea and undersea operations around its coast and near Taiwan, is Taipei getting increasingly desperate for any edge in intelligence? Chinese officials now allege that foreign rivals like Taiwan are resorting to spy turtles and spyfish, marine animals fitted with sensors, to snoop on Beijing's maritime secrets. In an alarming alert issued near its own coastline, China's security apparatus has warned that foreign intelligence agencies are using living marine animals as spies. As Beijing maps potential subsurface hiding spots and choke points around Taiwan, President Li's administration is portrayed as increasingly anxious that China is laying the groundwork for a possible invasion. On June 12, China issued a striking public alert about rival spy missions, warning that foreign intelligence services are intensifying their efforts to monitor Chinese waters and naval movements through unconventional means. China's Ministry of State Security claimed that overseas spy agencies are deploying so-called spy turtles and fish, marine animals equipped with hidden devices, to infiltrate Chinese waters and quietly snoop on Beijing's maritime environment and military footprint. These claims were laid out in detail in a post on China's popular WeChat social media platform, where the ministry used accessible language and graphics to warn ordinary citizens about alleged foreign spying along the country's vast coastline. According to the ministry, overseas spy agencies have been stealing sensitive maritime data for years using new types of equipment, suggesting a shift from classic human espionage to high-tech and automated tools hidden in the oceans. Beijing alleges that large living marine animals are being deliberately fitted with sophisticated sensors and directed to swim through specific areas, effectively turning them into mobile platforms that can slip into strategic zones without drawing attention. Chinese officials say these modified animals collect critical ocean data, from salinity and temperature to acoustic signatures, and then transmit the information back to overseas satellites, feeding foreign militaries with real-time intelligence on Chinese waters. However, the ministry did not provide concrete details on where these animals were discovered or which countries were allegedly behind these operations, leaving observers to speculate about the true scale and origin of the threat. Beyond marine animals, China says foreign agencies are also deploying unmanned detection buoys and wave gliders, floating or semi-submerged devices, designed to quietly monitor ship movements, underwater terrain, and other naval activity. The security post added that foreign spy agencies have been trying for years to systematically analyze Chinese naval activities, building long-term data sets to understand patrol patterns, submarine routes, and the deployment of key maritime assets. According to the ministry, these efforts are part of a broader push to create detailed underwater maps of China's coastline and nearby waters, maps that could be used one day to guide submarines, undersea drones, or special forces into Chinese littorals. In response, authorities urged marine researchers, fishermen, and vessel owners to immediately report any suspicious devices or unusual marine equipment they encounter, effectively enlisting civilians into a nationwide counter-espionage watch at sea. Earlier reports highlighted that China has already rewarded local anglers who turned in alleged spy devices they pulled from the water, using cash payouts and publicity to encourage others to hand over anything that looks remotely like foreign equipment. According to one such report, some fishermen received rewards of around $73,000 for their cooperation, underlining how seriously Beijing takes these fines and how far it is willing to go to incentivize public participation. Notably, these new accusations surfaced just as China was conducting intensive seabed mapping near Taiwan, raising concerns that the data could be used to support future military operations, from submarine deployments to blockade or invasion scenarios. China completed a seabed survey east of Taiwan in a move that many observers viewed as carrying potential military significance. According to Chinese state media, the survey helped fill key gaps in Beijing's hydrographic and seabed data across the region. China's maritime authorities conducted the mission during a 5-day law enforcement operation in waters east of Taiwan. Multiple Chinese agencies took part in the operation, including the Coast Guard and maritime safety authorities. The survey marked China's first publicly known effort to map these waters in such extensive detail. The move extended Beijing's operational presence into a region long regarded as strategically sensitive by Taipei. The operation came as Japan and the Philippines advanced maritime boundary discussions in waters east of Taiwan. Zhu Songling said, and I quote, "This part of the sea was relatively peaceful before, and China hadn't really said anything or conducted normalized patrols. It's dangerous because it uses border talk to create legal documents. Then they will use the so-called joint management of maritime areas to establish facts on the ground. After that, they invoke freedom of navigation, maritime security, and collective defense to introduce a military presence. So, China's law enforcement advancing into waters east of Taiwan is to cut off that chain of effort by the US, Japan, and the Philippines. Unquote. Analysts said the survey provided China with a far more detailed understanding of the undersea terrain east of Taiwan. An expert told the South China Morning Post that such hydrographic data could support more effective submarine operations. Unlike the relatively shallow Taiwan Strait, these waters descend rapidly into the deeper Philippine Sea basin. Large sections of the area reach depths between 3,000 and 5,000 meters, giving the region significant military value. The information gathered could support future naval deployments, undersea surveillance missions, and force movement planning. Beijing deployed the Hindustan 08, its most advanced long-range survey vessel, to carry out the mission. The ship reportedly covered more than 1,000 nautical miles of strategically important waters during the operation. Taipei condemned the activities and described them as another attempt by Beijing to expand its control at sea. The developments come as Beijing continues to view Taiwan as part of China and has not ruled out the use of force for reunification. Taiwan carried out coastal drills for a second straight day on June 10, staging large-scale exercises against the backdrop of mounting tensions with China's military. In these drills, Taiwan fired its new mobile HIMARS rocket systems, explicitly simulating the kind of Chinese invasion scenario its defense forces train for every day. The US-supplied launchers demonstrated their shoot-and-scoot tactics, firing and then rapidly relocating in an effort to avoid simulated Chinese counterstrikes. It was also the first time Taiwan had fired HIMARS on its west coast, using positions around the Taichung region to practice defending the island's most exposed shoreline. Notably, a Taiwanese army officer admitted that 4 HIMARS rockets misfired during the drills, describing the technical glitches as part of combat realistic training.